That's
congratulations.
That's a real shape. That's Kiwi style.
Just look at how it is down here. No cell phone reception. This is the wild side of New Zealand.
So I've been quite busy the last few days working on the compilation video, which I already should have had made years ago or started making. But it was so much footage that I had to bring in another screen. 2 screens is just perfect when you're doing this, though I won't be able to have this advantage while I'm on the road. But yeah, I got a Europe video up. Had a bit of a break from working on a motorbike, but we are going to get back to that. And we got a few packages. Let's open those up.
So we got motorcycle goodies and 1 electronic goodie. Here we got the fuel hose from Aussie, the one I want to use from the tap to the rest of the fuel system. And these have steel braided inner line. It's my thing to keep it protected against heat from the engine and the exhaust. Here we got very important plastic connectors, L and 3-way and 1 4-way just in case. Much cheaper than getting this in brass. In brass this would have cost me, Jesus, easily $100. And something here related to my travels but not the motorbike. That's going to record a lot of my motorbike endeavors. Another Seagate 4 terabyte drive case for the drive. Here we go. I'm not a fan of these in regards to the design, as in how protected they are, but they're the only ones portable and easy to take with you that are 4 terabyte. I got a fine collection of them. So this is already a 4 terabyte one, and this is a 2 terabyte one. And I like these a lot, the Transcend 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, because they have this inner protection that you can drop them. And I would never want to drop these. I always keep one main one in the pocket of my jacket for vibration reasons, just in case. But anyway, now I got 2 4 terabyte ones, which is good, and then I can leave one, probably the 1 terabyte one, behind with all my footage from around Australia until now. It's not going to fit, I think, but there's already someone who has a disc, an old hard disk of mine with all the footage up until Australia. up until Western Australia. All in all, this is a 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one I left behind. It was like, on this trip I've bought 6 hard disks so far, and it won't stop. I think we get to one point where we'll only be traveling with the 4 terabytes, and I can't wait till they up it even more.
Here she is, and here's the pump. Well, like I said before, this seems like the chosen spot, but it can't come too far back because then the tank will be in the way. So then you have over there, you have space here to run around to the other side.
Start by zip tying the fuel pump. That's a temporary solution, but the end result might still be a big fat zip tie solution. For those who missed it, I'm going to run a dual line. One's a gravity line, one's the pump line. So most of the fuel running gravity. Once I get towards the end, I'll use the pump. So first is going to need a collection bit. Here comes one tap, here comes the other. And that needs to split off again for one to go to the pump and one to go the gravity way with check valve. So just make this piece, bit of tube in between. And yeah, I'm starting to see that there's ways to keep it as compact as possible, but it's going to be interesting getting it all there. It's quite a tight tube. Gotta wet it in there. Still tough. Don't want to resort to CRC. So it's quite an effort to get them on, but they're pretty long. If you look at that, compared to a original Honda one, shorter. Yeah, so fat chance that that will come off, but still I'm gonna throw this on. I think I'm still waiting for some more clamps from Australia. Yeah, it's not a lot of pressure, so no need to really worry, as long as they're around the taps and some other crucial places really properly stuck. But don't have to worry about this guy coming off. Actually, here we go. I can't get a ring around it. Can always clamp it, but look at this. This is so sturdy. So there we go. I can keep it in this area here with the check valve. This is the check valve. Make sure that whatever goes through here only flows one way, can't flow back, because you need that, otherwise the pump will suck air. That's the theory. Nah, it's gonna be too long. I'm going to short it by about 1 mil with the Honda T, which goes on a lot easier too. Here we go, a little bit shorter. Right, so I got this here, and I'm going to put it under tension. Is that a bad thing? I imagine it's not ideal, but it's the only way I can work it. It's not a lot of space. So it comes off the pump, splits there into down there into the carb. This is the vacuum line coming from the taps, and then this is how the fuel will flow to the pump. So there's not a lot of space here, and I hope I can still get the airbox down, which is going to be tricky. Yeah, so this pump here is a Kiwi pump. This here pump is FuelFlow, and it's made here in New Zealand. Call it a piston pump, and it's 2 psi, very low pressure, and we don't want more because we don't want to startle the carbs. Don't startle the carbs. So it's a low psi pump. I'm really keen on seeing how the thing will work. Alright, so I can run it together here with the coolant hose, and then they meet here. Start out. I'll cut it to size later. Alright, this is actually pretty cool because now we got ourselves a looped system here. Okay, here's a problem. Nothing serious, just the bracket clip sits down here. It's not going to be a lot of space to get the airbox around the carb though. Now it's a bit of testing if I can get this all in there. The airbox was pretty close. Right, this is not going to work because there's not enough space. So we're gonna pull this out. I would like to use an L bend, but they're even longer than these long T pieces already. So I'm just gonna bend the hose like this around here, and I'll have the fuel meet somewhere here. It's going to be even higher than I was going to do here. That probably brings the fuel pump action up to 4 or 5 liters, which is good because I can use that as reserve indicator. Not enough. It's not a good bend, to be honest. I can make the bend, the short bend, with this hose, which seems a lot better suited than this hose, was more like a garden hose. I don't know exactly why they're different, but they have those same inner workings here. So this one is nice and flexible. This one gets kinks. This is definitely quite the puzzle, but we'll get there. Hook this up here so it doesn't touch the engine. Zip tie it. Yeah, this is looking good. This one's for the pump. Hook this one up. Just get the T-piece. Collects the fuel. I'm really happy I got this flexible hose. Makes all the difference. Got a opening here from the side where the fuel goes to the fuel pump for the fuel filter. And this one's massive. I'm not too happy with this one, but you know, it's my introduction into the world of fuel filters. So somewhere here should be good. Then I can zip tie it. It should be nice. Pretty good. Flip this around. Really gotta think ahead a bit of issues. You know, always good for 10 or 20 and then 30. Clamp eats through the cable. Or before I was thinking of running a hose in between the carbs, but then when you hit the throttle, this mechanism comes up and it scrapes the hose. Imagine doing that 1,000 times. I hope that all of this works and stays working. Good thing about the Africa Twin is that you could just put it in front of the airbox. That's how most people had their solutions, and there's just no space here on the Transalp, unfortunately. If you look at what other people have done when the Africa Twin was very compact and the fuel filter there and these nice bends, this is kinda all over the place, but should do the trick. This is one good point here. Will definitely stick out in. With the tank that I have, looks like I have to take it off every time that I'll be replacing the fuel filter. But that's just how it is for now. And it's around the bracket. Hooked up the fuel line to this hose here so it doesn't touch the engine head. That's a sharp bend though. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Let's see, so we'll hook up the fuel taps. Now while I'm at it here, might as well adjust that tank tap a bit. So here we go, nice and tidy, sort of tidy here. Just need to hook up the taps and the pump. Have a look. How bendy is this reinforced stuff? Not very flexible. Now the airbox nowadays can be a bit of a mission to get back in, to get it perfectly aligned on the carbs. Especially now, especially on the right hand side, there's only very limited space to get the clamp right, and it bumps into everything now. This is a very limited area where it can be.
I think I got it. Whew. So busy now here. All these new hoses. Razor sharp zip ties everywhere. I'm about 3 clamps short. Okay. Had the steel braided hose here up against the exhaust, and now it's full of scratches. Fantastic. But hey, we're getting there. Get the hose clamp on here. Got the zip tied here at the top. Keep it away from the header pipe. Don't do that. Holy shit. Keep sticking my finger in those steel braided wires. Very comfortable. That's pretty stuck, eh? And that's it. Now let's see if we got any leaks or not. It's about 14 to 16 points on this fuel system where it could leak. We're leaking right off the bat. Yeah, I was worried about that. I think it's the steel braided hoses, because they have like a plastic inner thing. It just doesn't seem to seal off properly, I think. Right, so I think that hard inner plastic of the steel hoses is the problem, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have to be crimped onto connectors to work properly. So they're coming off. What also doesn't help, I think, is that the tap is super thin and the rubber does seal properly. If you see, look how tight it is up on here on one of those three-way connectors, and it just pops off the tap. Big difference. Risky cut here because I'll have exactly enough rubber hose left. Here we go, and let's give this another try. This time no air sounds. So far so good.
Alp's back up and running again. Looks like the gravity fed fuel line is working well with the check valve in there. Fuel's getting to where it's supposed to go. Tomorrow we'll test the fuel pump. I'll hook it up with the electrics because now I still want to go work on some videos and post the big Europe compilation. And so tomorrow we'll hook up the fuel pump and we'll see for sure if the whole system works. Leave a comment if you got anything to say about what we've been doing here today. Like the video, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. See you tomorrow.